Hello friends, welcome to the course Foundations of R Software. Now in this lecture we are once again going to consider the topic of data frame, and we are going to learn that how you can combine different data frames in a single data frame. Now it is possible that suppose you are getting some data frame from different sources and you need to merge them together. Now this combining or merging, that can be done in different ways. The first option is this: whatever the data frame, suppose one comes here, two comes here, and then both are merged horizontally. Second option is data 1 comes here, data frame 2 comes here, and both are merged vertically. And third option is that in case if the two data frame they have some variable in common, then possibly what would you like to have? You would not like to have that the same variable should occur in both the data frames when you are trying to combine it. So you would like to use it only once. And if there are more than one such variables, or you have a choice that you want to combine the data set with respect to which variable, that has to be controlled. So these are different types of questions which arise when you are trying to combine different data sets or data frame. So these are the type of questions which we are going to understand in the lecture today. And after this I will stop with the topic of data frame also. Means as I said in the last lecture towards the end that okay, in data frame there are many operations, and it is not practically possible for me to cover here all the operation, but I have chosen some common operation to give you a feeling, to give you an idea that how the spreadsheets can be handled in the R software. But now the success of using the data frame and its related topics, its command, etc., that depends completely on you. So we today begin our lecture and we try to take some examples to explain that how you can combine the data. So you see, when you want to combine the data frames, then there are three possible ways, and for that we have three different commands. One is that you want to combine the two data frames with respect to their columns, and the two data frames are side by side, just like this. And second option is that if both the data frames have got a variable which is common between the two, then you would like to join them here like this. See, whatever is the common variable here, that comes over here. Right, because the common variable does not occur in two data frames, but it appears only once. And third option is that you can simply stack them together over each other, right, and such that one is appending other. So it is like this one, right. So now how to get it done and what are the commands, that is what we have to understand. So when you want to combine the two data frames side by side horizontally, then our command is Cbind, C-B-I-N-D, all in lowercase alphabets, right, and within parentheses we try to give the name of the data frame with some other options. Similarly, when you want to combine the two data frames using a common column, then our command is merge, M-E-R-G-E, all in lowercase alphabets, and within the brackets, within the parentheses, you have to write down the name of the data frames, and then you have to give other options, right. Similarly, when you want to combine the data frame such that they are stacking over each other like this one in a vertical direction, I would say, then the command here is Rbind, R-B-I-N-D, all in lowercase alphabet. So now we try to take here some examples, and through those examples I try to explain you the application of these three commands, right. So first I try to take the here command Cbind, which horizontally merges two data frames side by side, right. I am clicking here example of two data frame, but you can take actually more. So that's why I'm saying here 2. So for that, what we try to do, we simply try to create here 2 data frames, and so that we can understand that what is really happening. So I try to create here a data frame whose name is df1. That means D means data, frame is F, and 1 is df1, right. And in which I try to take here 2 variables here, say one is here is state, or 2 columns here, one here is state and say another here is population size, POP and SIZE. So it is like this type of data set which is trying to indicate here that these are here is states, and then here is the population size. So I am trying to take the states here UP, MP, AP, JK, that is Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir, right. And then their corresponding populations are here 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000 respectively, right. And similarly, I try to take here one more data frame and I try to create it using 2 different variable, other 3 different variable, and one of them is going to be common. So this is df2, in which I try to take here the state as say UP, MP, AP, JK. So this is like this one, that here I have here 3 columns, one here is state, and then I try to take here sample size. So this is here in the second column, it is sample size, and then in the third column this is survey completed. So right, so you can imagine that it is a sort of data set, and yeah, means it is related to a survey in these 4 states where they are trying to specify the population size and the sample size, right. So and then these states are UP, MP, AP, JK. Sample sizes from these states are 100, 200, 300, 400, and then there is a status, that is string in terms of yes or no. So yes, no, yes, no, right. So if you try to look here, that there is a common variable here is state, this is here common, right. So now if you try to see this data frame 1 and data frame 2, that is df1 and df2, will look like this, right. So you can see here this state here is common in both df1 and df2. Now we try to make here different operations. So first I try to take here Cbind. So Cbind, and then you have to simply write down here df1 comma df2. So now you can see here whatever was your here df1, this is coming here like this, and then you have here df2. So this is your here df1 and this is your here df2, and if you want to have a look, you can have a look here, right. So now if you try to see both these data frame, they are combined horizontally, and this Cbind operation is not trying to consider, because the state is in both the data frames, so it has to be only once or twice. So it is just copy and paste, that's all, right. And if you try to look here at the screenshot of this outcome, it will look like this. This is your here df1, this is your here df2, and you can see here now here this is your here df1 from here, and this is your here df2 from here, right. So you can see that both the data frames are joined horizontally. Okay, so let us try to first make these operations on the R software so that I can show you. So I try to create here both these data frames, right. So you can see here df1 is here like this and df2 here is like this, and then when you are trying to combine them, so using the function Cbind, so this is here df1 comma df2, and then it comes here like this. So you can see here this is the same operation which I showed you on the screenshot, right. Okay. Now after this I try to take here second command, which is about merge. So now the advantage in merge is that it also works just like Cbind, but it takes care of the common columns or the row names, right. So this merge will merge the two data sets horizontally, and it will use the common column or row names. For example, in the same example which you have just taken, there is common column name state in this df1 and df2 here, right. So, same data frame which we have just created. So, now if you try to see how you can merge this together. So, first you have to write down here merge MERGE, which is the command for merging the two data set in the R software, and then inside the parenthesis you have to write down the two data sets separated by commas, and after this you have to specify that which of the column of this data frame has to be used for merging. It is like here by dot x by dot y, and then after that if you want to give here the option here sort, that means for whether you want to sort the data after this or not. So, this is going to give you here true or false, and similarly there is here another command here no dot dupes, no dot dups. So, this is also a logical variable indicating that the suffix are appended in more cases to avoid duplicated columns in the result, right. So, this will take care of the duplication. So, anyway I will try to make this presentation and lecture simple. So, I will not take many options, but I will leave it up to you that first you understand how the merging is being done, then you have to experiment with different other options. So, now if you try to see here, this is your here df1 which we have just created, and this is your here df2 which we have just created, in which this state is a common name, common column name. So, now I try to use here the command here merge MERGE, and then I write down here df1 comma df2, and after that I use the option here by, and then I try to specify here the name of the column with respect to we want to merge it, right. So, I try to give it here the name state STATE within the double quotes exactly in the same way as it is given, right. Now, you will see here what will happen here. Now, state is coming here only once, and then this population size which is here in df1, this is coming here, and then after this whatever is the sample size and the outcome of the survey, whether survey completed or not, this is coming here. So, you can see here this is how the merging has been done, whereas if you try to look into the other case, here in this case the state was getting repeated in both the data frames. So, this is the advantage, and if you try to see it on the console also, it will look like this. This is your here df1, this is your here df2, and this is your here the outcome of merge command, where this state is appearing only here once, and after that this is here the merge command of df1 and df2 of those columns which are not common, right. So, let us try to have a look on this operation also in the R software. Right, okay. So, let me try to copy here this command. So, you already have this df1 and df2. So, you can see here, and now if you try to merge here, you can see here that state is coming here because it was common, and after this population size from df1 and sample size and survey completed from df2, they are coming here. So, you can see that it is not a very difficult operation. The only thing is that you have to understand how it is going to work. Okay. Now, after this I try to take the last option, that is Rbind. So, Rbind is used to join the data frames vertically. That means, this will stack the two data frames on top of each other, appending one to another, right. It is just like this, right. So, we try to consider here these two data frames, and now they are different than others. I have created it artificially so that I can explain you this concept easily. So, I try to consider here a data frame by considering two variables and creating it. So, I try to take here state, which are UP, MP, AP and JK, and their population size are 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, and this data frame is like a df11. And then after that I have considered here one more data frame df22, which is constructed by considering the state as say Bihar, Delhi and Punjab, and population sizes 100, 200, 300. So you can see here the difference between this case and other case is that means earlier you had a data frame 1 like this and data frame 2 like this, which has more number of columns, but now I wanted to make it the same number of columns so that they can be joined vertically without any mistake. So that is why I had to create these two data frame separately. So now if you try to see, these two data frames will look like this, right. And now in case if you try to use here the command here Rbind, then you can see here that they are joined together, and it is like this. You can see here, this is your here df1, this is your here df2, and if you try to see here, this is your here df1 from here, and this is your here df2 from here, right, and this is here the outcome. So you can see here both the data frames are joined together, and now this is a new data frame in which you can make different types of operation, right. So let me try to show you these two examples on the R console also, so that you can understand what is really happening. So this is your here df11 and this is your here df22, right, and then I try to merge it using the command Rbind. Try to see here, it is like that. This first 4 values in the df11 they are coming here, and this 3 values in the df22 they are coming here in this at the end. So they are stacked together, and if you try to if you try to change the order here, then you will see what will happen. Well, I try to change it here 1 1 and here 2 2, right. So now you can, this is 2 2, right. So if you try to see here, now this has been reversed. Means earlier Bihar, Delhi and Punjab were coming in the bottom, now they are coming in the top, and after that yeah. So that is pretty straightforward now, right. Okay, so now we come to an end to this lecture here, and as you can see that was a pretty small lecture, and we have learnt a very simple operation, that how you are going to merge two different data frames together. Now it's your turn to try to take some more data frames, more than 2, and try to make some columns common, and then try to see how you can handle them. And similarly try to look into the help and try to see there are various options which are given here which can be used to handle more complicated situation. My objective was very simple, that I wanted to give you an idea that number 1, the merging is possible in R software when you are trying to deal with data frames, and you can do it very easily without any problem. So now I will stop in this lecture with the topic of data frame also. So as I said in the beginning, there are many things which are left, but now I will leave it up to you that how much you want to learn, and depending on your needs actually you can choose what commands are going to be useful for you. You try to practice them, and I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, goodbye.